Welcome back to Chow Time Pods. Your host, Red. I got a video today for MTR.
Woman that wants to date a black man, go for it. What does a white and a black man's relationship, how does that affect you? Should black men date white women? That's the TikTok I just saw. So this girl was talking about how she was approached by a lady or a young girl and her group of friends, and the girl asked, do you have a problem with black men dating white women? And some of them were like, yeah, some of them said no. And then she went on to say,
it is funny how women love to spout, oh, you could pick whoever you want, you could be whatever you want, or who with whatever you want. You know, it's your choice, your body and everything. But when women choose to be with black men, there's a problem. Or like, you know, white women choose to be with black men, there's a problem. Or even when Asian women choose to be with black men, there's a problem. The only problem seems to be that it revolves around black men, which means that it's a problem for black women majority of the time. I'm just going about logic.
Well, my bigger question would be, why do the white women feel like they need to date black men? And then she went and explained, like, oh, it's because the kids, and they want the kids to look a certain way. Not sure I agree with that, but
I mean, I don't think people are solely picking race and demographics just for genes. Not, at least not nowadays. Maybe back in the day, genes and all that stuff really mattered. People cared about it, but now it's just looks.
Still, we're moving on because the point of this of this lady's video is she gets to the end and she says, we need to have more conversations like this because they're not being had anymore.
Shut up.
Right?
It's called stay.
You know, it's funny because I covered P, talking about that other one, and you guys said P is like pretty fragile when it comes to this topic. Let's see how MTR reacts to it.
Staying in your own lane. Stay the in your own lane.
Before she continues on, I am tired of these damn race conversations. Date who you want. Prioritize how they treat you. Is there chemistry? Is there connection?
Right?
Why are y'all still caring about race like this? It's crazy. Listening to conversations like this and having her tell a story about a black woman asking why a white woman dating black men as if there's not black women dating white men, right? And then prescribing that they want their...
Everybody's just dating everybody nowadays. There's a lot of black women that are dating Asian men. There's, well, not a lot, but there's it's happening, right? There's Asian men with Hispanic women, black men with Hispanic women. Like, everybody is so mixed and so okay with nowadays. Yes, people do prefer their own race and their own creed, but nowadays it's just pure attraction.
Her children, right? Like, and she carries this talking point with her wherever that she goes. But seeing stories like this and seeing people's affinity towards the supremacy of their own race through whatever the offspring look like helps me understand why the Carmelo Anthony situation gets turned into a race conversation. Helps me understand why the white woman that called the black young kid the N-word, why that there's so high of a donation from white people that are tired. It just helps me understand kind of this racial tension within society, because I don't really see it like that. I don't care whether it's relationship. If you treat me good, you act right, you got a chance. I don't care what race, creed, color. Sorry.
Okay, like, I don't know where MTR grew up. I'm thinking more like Atlanta area or that area, but I grew up in LA. I literally grew up next to Compton. My school was considered an inner city school, right? There were so many Asians, so many Hispanics, so many whites, so many blacks. It was literally a mix of everything. I don't really think that there was a majority, but there's probably still a majority white kids in there. But I made friends with everyone, and I made enemies with everyone, right? I had enemies of all races, and I had friends of all races. It's just people that you like and people that you don't like, and, you know, things like that. And race is never really in the forefront when you're a kid.
Dr. Umar, I don't give a shit. But men like me, we go where we are respected. And if we identify a type of a person that doesn't respect you, we're going to go the other way. We don't have time for anything else. We busy. We got things to do. We got shit to lead. But well-performing, well-optimized, dope people are not down up in here giving a damn about these race conversations. It's survival of the fittest out here. Go where you are appreciated. Go where you are respected.
If you don't like to date outside of your race, that's great. I love that for you. Stay the f*** in your own lane. If you are a black girl that wants to date a white man, go for it. If you're a black girl that wants to date a Hispanic man, go for
Have
it.
fun.
If you're a white woman that wants to date a black man, go for it. You get the point, correct? Got it. It's called minding your own business and staying in your own lane. What does a white and a black man's relationship, how does that affect you? How does that affect you?
Well, it does affect them. Well, it impacts them because in their mind, they already seeing a reduction in population of men that they can choose from. So if they see you on their court, they're going to want to push you off so you can't even be in competition to play. So they'll be able to utilize shaming tactics such as, well, you just want your baby to look like a black baby in order to get them features. You want a light-skinned kid, curly hair, which could be true in some cases, I guess, but not in the majority. People can't be controlled. We have free thought, free speech, and the ability to select others whom we think we want to be in a relationship with. So for it to be a constant conversation that your lonely, bitter ass focuses on means that you have too much damn time on your hands. Agreed. Instead of focusing of erasing the competition, how about you focus on improving yourself, getting better, being a worthy option that a man would want to take serious, a more
rise to the occasion and be at the top of the competition.
Marriageable option.
That is the most mind-blowing part of this whole entire social media with me and Shane. And when I post him on my social media,
she's got
and
a black
I get
guy.
all the comments, I'm like, how the f*** is my relationship an inconvenience to your life?
Right. Because you took a good man, Savannah.
Do you agree or do you disagree? I think we should all get back in our own lanes and stay there because
I've always said this. Care about the things around you that you can control, that you see. There's a lot of other things that are going on in the world. You don't have to worry about a good chunk of it, right?
It didn't even occur to me that she might have a black boyfriend. But you know what's crazy? After looking at her image, she's the exact archetype of woman that has been appreciated by black men her entire life, has been ignored by white men her entire life. So she's going where more so she is appreciated. Typically, these white women have had black homegirls all throughout their life. They're a little bit indoctrinated within the culture. And usually they have above average up top and hindquarters. They's a little bit more thicker is what I'm trying to say. And newsflash, white guys don't appreciate thick bodies as much as what black guys do. So yeah.
Yeah, I think MTR is right about this. I think MTR is pretty spot on about this. I have a good amount of black friends, and a good amount of them do like are slightly chubby chasers. So
yeah, this is smooth.
Through my own anecdotal evidence, so.
Competition right here. If I'd have never seen one, let's take a look at the profile. Let's see what you're working with, baby girl.
Oh yeah, she definitely has.
Shaking her ass. Yeah.
Has assets.
Yeah, I've seen you 1,000 times before. This is exactly what it is that I'm talking about. I mean, she plays the game to a, oh yeah. Damn, I was right. Oh yeah. Right. Crazy. And it was crazy also too is that she's taking a lot of nods from the debaucherous components, the overly sexualized components of black culture. And I'm not trying to say that black culture has ownership over that behavior. I'm just saying she knows what she's doing for the audience that she's doing it for. Now, while I agree with her comments that race shouldn't matter, what I do not agree with is how she sexualizes herself all over her profile. That looks like that's her guy right there. But yeah, the constant thirst traps while in a relationship is odd behavior.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
Nevertheless, let's hit them comments. I love this white woman. Why couldn't the black girl be a black woman? It starts there. I can't stand comments like this because they're looking any angle in order to be like, her over there, racist. Whatever happened to campaigns like Black Girls Rock? Don't grown-ass black women rock with that black girls rock movement? Stop the madness. I do date black men. My preference, my business. Hey,
True.
do your thing, baby girl. All right? Survival of the fittest out here. People need to date who they want. Race shouldn't matter. Date who makes you happy. Ask Shannon Sharp. Here's the thing. I think that the Shannon Sharp situation would have happened whether or not it was a white girl nor a black girl, right? Like 19-year-old black girl, 19-year-old white girl. I think the same. Exact bullshit could have happened. Now, does it make it a juicier story that it was a white girl? Yeah. But that's because we's in America, baby. Fuck a gender war, the race wars right around the corner.
I do love how MTR does, win over that. Yeah, in America, everything's a race war, right? And we love talking about it so constantly. Even people in my messages or in my comment section always talk about race. And I try not to talk about race just because I just talk about women and men. That's what I focus on. And then, yes, sometimes we do have to hone in on certain demographics here and there. But overall, it's just women nature and men nature right here. This is what this channel's about.
In fact, it's heating up so quick, and we got so many evidence and trending in the news nowadays. I think there should be a name for it. Bump the Cold War. Let's call it the Warm War. If you got a great name for it, put it down in the comment box down below so I can pin that shit to the top. You can
we call it Wet Works? I like Wet Works.
Date whoever you want. Opt for your own happiness. I think that's a great comment to end this video out on. At the end of the day, select whoever is the best match for you. Hey, listen, do not be beholden. And listen also too, shout out to that brother that we just showed within this video. For my guess is that many of these young dudes who inevitably seek outside of their own race is because they were not done well or justly or fairly by the women within their own race. True. So I find it hilarious that later on in life, after they've done their choosing, their picking and selecting, that the same ones that treated him like shit are the same ones pushing sign language towards everyone else around them as opposed to fixing themselves as a product in the dating marketplace. But to also end off the content, I wanted to go over these interracial marriage statistics in order to make it clear how much of an issue that this is or is not, depending upon your stance on the matter. Black marriage, this is back in 2021, all right? Married black men, 85% of them had a black wife.
That's a lot.
Married black women, 93% of them have a black husband. This only represents a 6-7%-ish difference, 8%-ish difference between the two. So although black men, there's a lot of stereotypes there of, well, they just marry white women. It appears, statistically speaking, it's not that much more than black women being married to a white.
Damn, us Asians are like 1% on this. No love. No love.
Man, this is why statistics is so damn important. Nevertheless, guys, drop me your comments down below. What is it that you think about this?
I've talked about the interracial dating, how like a lot of Asian women would, date outside of Asian races, and it's very similar to how people talk about it, but I don't care. I've never really cared about who you mate with. I only care about when you mate with someone and then you shit on your own people. That's a problem. Like, why would you do that, right? You are considered that race too, and then when your son or your daughter gets born, they are still considered that race, majority of them, unless the other genes really took over and they don't look Asian anymore, right? Please subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. And